Next up, it's the short wheelbase, highly powerful, not for the faint-hearted funny cars. Now, in the championship, the two championship leaders, 1 and 2 in the championship, go head-to-head, would you believe, in the first round. So one of those will come out as a championship prospect. You've got it. It's Top Methanol Funny Car.
Before we get to all the action from eliminations, time to get a few words from the drivers on their thoughts for the weekend. That's Ulf Leanders in the far lane with the red Dodge Charger. Absolutely everywhere, but really on form this weekend. His main championship rival and points leader at the moment is Arvid Grodem.
So Arvid, you're leading the championship, but you didn't have the best 2 qualifying sessions yesterday.
That's absolutely true. It was terrible. I mean, I didn't come off the starting line in either of them, just spun the tire instantly.
Which means that the championship is pretty wide open in this class because Ulf Leanders, he isn't far behind you.
No, he's right behind me. He's 12 points behind. So, I mean, we just have to step up and come over and do what we can. I mean, it's in the car, so it's just to get it down and yeah, get everything sorted.
Well, the man on top so far in qualifying from Belgium, Danny Belliot.
After 2 laps of qualifying, you're #1 qualifier.
Yeah, we do it a little bit better than the rest, so we're lucky.
Well, luck, you've been working hard to get this. How for you this weekend, how's the track for you? Because some people have been saying to us it's a little bit tricky this weekend. How have you found it?
Yeah, it's very tricky. We were here on Wednesday, so we had a little bit of an advantage over the other ones. But it's not easy.
You're #4 in the championship, so there's a possibility you might be able to gain a place or 2 here.
1 place. Maybe if we go 1 round further than Jarmo, we can go to the #3 spot. But #1 and #2, that's impossible.
Yeah, but Danny's still having a very good weekend in the far lane here in qualifying. Another Dodge Charger. And Danny and the team just having a great weekend so far here at SantaPod Raceway. Well, as we moved into the evening, things got a little bit tense qualifying-wise. Ulf Leanders, main championship contender with Arvid Grodem, took the #1 spot and ended up with a first-round date with Arvid.
How is it that everyone else is struggling out there and you go and run a really great time?
Well, what can I say? We did a lot of changes to the car this year, and everything starts to come around. We usually run really quick, but we haven't had the consistency that we need. But it feels like it starts to come around here. We bought a new fuel system for the car, and that is actually the key for the good times. It's a Randy Anderson fuel system, and we couldn't be happier about it.
I tell you what, if you're running like this with a headwind coming straight down the track at you, what on earth do you think you're going to run when the wind isn't against you?
I would like to think that it would have been running 255, 256 without the big headwind.
Well, that's not bad for a Top Methanol Funny Car, but Ulf #1 with a 5.65. As you can see, Arvid at the bottom of the sheets with only an 8-second run.
Okay, so here we are. This is how it sets it up in our quarterfinals here in Top Methanol Funny Car. And the 2 main protagonists, numbers 1 and 2 in the championship, meet one another in the first round. This, Daryl, will definitely decide the championship.
And it's going to decide it in the next couple of moments. So it's Arvid and Ulf for the title. The lights go green and Arvid smokes the tyres. If Ulf can keep it stuck, he will be the champ. Indeed he is. It's the Leanders brothers on top in 2011. Let's hear from Arvid's crew chief right now.
Paul, give me your thoughts on that run.
We did take a big chance on the clutch because we need to run fast like Ulf is doing, but it was a little bit too much. You see that on the start line, but that was the only choice we had.
So up until now, you've had a good year.
Yeah, the last half pass have been a little bit too much engine problem, but we're running good numbers, and we know it's more in the car, but we need more runs. That's the problem, and we need to find out what's happened with the engine all the time.
Well, it's a shame for Arvid, but Ulf and his brother Jürgen will be wearing the number 1 in 2012. Our next pair.
Yeah, indeed, closest to the camera here. Rob Turner from Great Britain. Really been doing very, very good here. Number 3 qualifier up against returning to the sport from Switzerland, Detso Kriven. Now, Detso was number 6 qualifier. Hey, and Rob gets away very smartly indeed. This looks to be a really great run. It is indeed a 585.
Yeah, Rob's quickest ever run in a funny car. They ran their first 5-second run this weekend. Now that's 3 in a row. He's into the semi-finals. Steve and the Turner family, all the rest of them, very, very happy with life indeed. Detso Krivan spun the tyres at the green. Not so good for him, but it is Rob, from just up the road in Higham Ferrers, in the semis.
Right, here's our next pair. Finland coming up against Belgium. Really is fully international in this top Methanol Funny Car class. This is Danny Bellio. We spoke to him earlier on. Number 2 qualifier, running a 579. And Jarmo Kutnami was number 7, running a 6.2. Now is Danny's luck going to stick with him? It looks pretty good to me.
Well, but unfortunately, a big hole shot from Jarmo Kutnami on the line. Look at that, an 0-1 to a 0.22 for Danny. And the crew goes wild. Jarmo goes in to the semis. They couldn't be any happier. Watch that again. You can clearly see the car in the far lane. Both these are Dodge Chargers, but Danny couldn't run him down. Unbelievable. Let's get a few quick words from Steph Millam from the UK.
You're still the only lady in the class. I mean, is there any interest out there for more girls to come and do this?
Well, I hope so. I mean, it's one of those sports that it doesn't matter whether you're male, female or whatever. But, yeah, it's the big step, I think, to get up from the sportsman classes up into methanol, and the big money change as well. I think that's the big thing.
And of course, also, it's the control of these things. Short wheelbase, you've got 3,500 horsepower under your right foot. It takes a lot of getting used to.
Yeah, I've worked up to it, but yeah, it takes a bit of handling, and you do just get used to it and handle it down there and hot dog it down there, which is what I did yesterday.
So how are your not championship chances, but how are your chances here this year? Who have you got in the first round?
I've got Jürgen first round. I was number 4 qualifier and he was number 5, so we're pretty fairly wet match. But we're hoping for good things.
Yeah, Steph doing really well with a 6-0 again in qualifying. That lady really can drive. Up against Jürgen Nagel from Germany. And that's Jürgen's car right there. This should be a great race.
Yeah, indeed. Well, as Steph said, she was number 4 qualifier, Jürgen number 5, so hardly anything between them. As we get ready, that's Stephanie's husband, Dave, just spraying on the antifreeze, and Jürgen leaves Steph all on her own on the start line, takes the win. Well done to him, a 6.55. Look at that. And poor Steph just coming over a good run, 6.83, but not good enough to stick with Jürgen Nagel. So this sets up our semi-finals.
But before we get to those, let's have a few words from Jürgen.
Jürgen, congratulations on getting through to the semis, but you've got a tough competitor in the next lane.
Right, I know. But we try our best. We will see what happens. I mean, on this worst track, nobody knows. It's 50-50 in the moment. So maybe we can go and win this pass. I don't know.
That's it, full of confidence, Jürgen. He's got a tough one, though. Here he is in the Camaro, but coming up against the all-conquering, the new champ in the opposing lane. That's Ulf Leanders, and away they go. They look pretty close away. Ulf Leanders gets a bit slippery, but wow, look at that. So very, very close. Jürgen Nagel tried his hardest there, but Ulf Leanders with a 598 won that on a hole shot. Just watch this. Lights burn down. Ulf definitely away first. Jürgen then in chase mode. He didn't do bad at all, but it's Ulf who moves forward into the final.
Well, that was a superb job of driving by Ulf Leanders. Not only did he leave first, he must have pedalled the car, which is get on and off the throttle at least 3 or 4 times. managed to pop the burst panel at the finish line too and still took the round win. That's what champions are made of. Rob Turner near lane, Jarmo Kootenami on the far side from Finland. Rob gets away from the line first. Instant tyre smoke for Jarmo Kootenami, and Rob Turner one more time, 5.83. Hadn't run a 5-second run ever in Top Methanol Funny Car. Now that's his fourth.
Yeah, isn't he doing well? No wonder the team are looking so happy. I mean, this team here used to run a Top Methanol dragster and were highly competitive in that. They made the change to Top Methanol Funny Car, and now suddenly it's all coming together beautifully. So this sets up our final.
Ulf Leanders, the new champ, against the upstart, Rob Turner.
I don't know whether you could ever call Rob a young upstart. I think he'd like you to.
I said that tongue-in-cheek because he's a young upstart in Top Methanol Funny Car, but he's definitely not a young upstart in drag racing. Rob Turner and the whole Turner family have been around for a long time.
Well, they were there when I first started in the early 80s, let me tell you, with an Alton. So here we are, up against the new champion. Who's it going to be, Darryl?
Well, both away together. Can Rob beat the new champion? By the looks of it, he does. Rob Turner romps away to victory. His first ever win with a funny car, but it's Ulf who wins the championship title.
Not content with winning races on your own, you're also behind your youngster in the junior dragster division.
Yes, that's right, Fredrik. Also my daughter Erika is driving the car. They take turns in driving it, but this weekend is Fredrik's turn, and he's doing very good right now.
Well, his dad hasn't done so bad either, so that's why we're here to say congratulations to you for 2011.
Thank you very much. But also it's a team effort. My brother, my Johnny, Börje, Thomas, Sven, Glenn, everyone has been working with us. They are so dedicated. They know exactly what they're doing, and they get that car out there every run. We've had some tricky tracks this year, and the tune-up hasn't been that easy, you know, especially when the cars start running fast, and it's a small edge to walk on.
Well, confirmation of your champ for 2011, wearing the number 1 next year. Ulf Leanders and his brother Jürgen, Arvid, after a great season, number 2. But to wrap up, this weekend here at SantaPod Raceway, FIA Championship promoter Keith Bartlett on his thoughts for the weekend at SantaPod.
Well, I tell you what, this weekend for me has been absolutely superb. Granted, we've had really high winds out there on the track. The track has been fantastic. We've been seeing some mega racing, and Pro Modifieds for me, fabulous.
Probably the most popular class in European drag racing. Certainly competitor-wise, the strongest and the biggest fields you see in any of the classes. The crowds associated with Pro Mods, they belong to the past of drag racing, its outlaw roots, but it's in modern format. Pro Mod is, if you want to see fast door slammers being driven by good drivers, watch Pro Mod. 2011 has proven it at every single round.
Yeah, and of course what happens is that the Pro Mods seem to sort of gel everybody else along, and here we have all the other supporting racing. Absolutely wonderful here this weekend.
It would seem if the Pro Mods run fast and set the scene, everybody follows. And in those classes that also are around Pro Mod, fantastic. And let's not forget the bike classes. We've seen European record in top fuel bike. We've seen close racing in pro stock bike. It's just been a fantastic season. And the closing event of the finals, just as fantastic.
So that is it. The sun is still shining miraculously. It was a European finals to be savoured, and all the champions have indeed been crowned.
Oh yeah, the racing has been fantastic. It's what you expect from an FIA UEM Championship final. And Pro Modified, absolutely super. Although he didn't win the race meeting, Mickey Gallquist becomes a worthy champion.
Absolutely. Now, if you loved what you've seen over the last few months, we'll be back to do it all again in 2012. See you then.
Bye-bye.